Okay. What's going on? Welcome to all the new people that are new in the room. My name is Janine. I am your budget coach. I'm your go-to girlfriend for managing money with faith and intention. We talk all things personal finance with God in the center. So if that's something that you're interested in, then you are in the right room. I have so many things, so many announcements today. Like so many announcements, so many things that I'm super excited about that I'm going to talk about tonight. So if you are new to my room, put new in the chat or where you are listening or where you're watching from. If you are new, put new in the chat or where you're watching from. Make sure that you share the live. Make sure you like it. Thank you so much for grabbing your daily heartbeat engagement points. This lets them know. We share out the live. These lets people make sure you're sharing out the live. This lets people know. Hi, Snow White Rose. Good evening. Welcome into the room. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Janine. I'm a budget coach. I'm your go-to girlfriend for managing money with faith and intention. Diva on Dimes, welcome into the room. Good evening, good evening, good evening for the people that are coming into the room. So glad that you are here. This is Budget with Faith Mondays. So there are so many things that I want to talk about tonight. So welcome into the room. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to my room, put new. Make sure that you grab your daily heart points. Make sure that you're tapping the screen. Tapping is free and is greatly appreciated. There are so many things that I want to cover. So many Diva. Daniel, what's going on? Daniel Fry, welcome into the room. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to my room, put new. If you are a returning person, if you're a returning watcher or viewer, put returning in the chat. So glad that you guys are here. So if you're new, put new. If you're returning, put returning. We talk about all things personal finances with God in the center. So if that's something that you're interested in, then you're in the right room. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like looking at two things at one time. Hold on. I'm trying to get my stuff together. I'm also live stream on YT. So if you are interested in seeing more of my long form content, you can check me out, Gracefully Simplified, on the YT on all platforms. So good evening, good evening. So excited. I feel like I have so much to talk about. My live stream schedule, all of the things, all of the things. So on YouTube, put new if you are new to my live. Make sure that you like the live. Make sure that you share it. So excited for everyone to be here. So just wanted to introduce myself for the new people that are in the room. My name is Janine. I am a budget coach. I'm a financial coach that specializes in budgeting, saving money, and getting out of debt with God in the center. So that's primarily what I talk about. But we talk about all things personal finances. Thank you, Jeff, for entering the room. Make sure you guys are liking the live. Make sure that you're sharing it out. Make sure that you're tapping, getting your daily heart points. That lets me know that you are an engaged viewer and that you're watching. So excited for you guys to be here tonight. So tonight we're going to be talking. I have like so many updates. So it's new people in the room. So again, my name is Janine. I'm a budget coach. I had been budgeting for over 15 years and I was able to pay off $60,000 in debt. I've been also a homeowner for 19 years. I bought my first home when I was 19 and my second home I just purchased at 35 and I got it built from the ground up. So super excited to talk about budgeting tonight. So I just really wanted to talk about like my schedule, all the new people. A lot of people ask me like, when do I go live? What's my schedule? All the things. So tonight I'm going to really break down my schedule and talk about um stressing living paycheck to paycheck. That's going to kind of be the topic tonight, living paycheck to paycheck. So it's me. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Janine. I'm a budget coach. I am your go-to girlfriend for managing money with faith and intention with God in the center. So I just wanted to briefly just jump in. Remember, make sure that you tap the live, make sure that you share it out. Also, make sure that you grab your daily heart points. Make sure that you're sharing it out. It is greatly appreciated. So tonight, I just want to briefly talk about my schedule. All the new people that are in the room, if you are new or if you are watching on the replay, type in replay in the chat. If you are new to my room, type in new. If you are returning viewer, then put returning in the chat. So thank you so much for being here. Lewis, thank you so much for being here. So tonight we're going to be talking about Budget with Faith Monday. So I had a lot of questions about like, when do I go live, trying to get my schedule together, all of the things. Okay. So on Mondays, if you want to learn more about personal finances and really trying to make it easier, thank you so much, Just Nikki, for the daily heart. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming into the room. If you are new, put new in the chat. If you are returning, put returning. Thank you so much for being here. So I was talking about my live schedule. A lot of people ask me constantly, what is your live schedule? So I am committing. I'm saying this out loud. Thank you so much for the stickers. I am committing to this. I'm saying it out loud. My live schedule will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Mondays, the topics will be about budgeting. We'll break down different budgets. I'll go over different numbers, and that's what Mondays will be about. Wednesdays will be about savings. We'll talk about sinking funds, saving money for your kids' college. If you have kids going to college, 529 plans, sinking funds, all of the things, savings. We'll talk about that on Wednesdays. Thank you so much for the populars. I truly appreciate it. All of the things, savings, we will be talking about Wednesdays. Fridays is our debt-free Fridays, y'all. We're going to be talking about all things getting out of debt, how to get out of debt, the different payment methods. I'm currently working off paying my debt as well. So we are going to be talking about all things debt on Friday. Okay, so that's going to be my schedule. I am sticking to it. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Mondays will be budgeting. Wednesdays will be savings, and Fridays will be debt. So listen, if you're like, oh, you know what? I just really want to learn more about budgeting, come to the lives on Mondays. If you know what, you like, you know what? I really need to save more. Come to the live on Wednesdays. And if you like, if you just want to come to all three, I would greatly appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. But if you like, you know what? I really want to focus on debt, then debt come on Friday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the schedule that I'm having, and I'm sticking to it. So y'all can expect me to be on here at this time. So before we jump in, again, make sure that you're tapping out the live. Let me see if we can get this live to 1,000 likes. So hopefully make sure that you're tapping the live. Make sure that you're sharing. So if you are new here, put new in the chat. If you are returning, if you've been in my room before, put returning. If you're watching on the replay on YouTube, put new. If you're new to my content, if you're returning, then put returning. So Thank you so much for tapping the screen. Make sure that you like the live. Make sure that you share it. So again, we're going to be talking about all things budget tonight. So a couple things that I really we want to start off with. Thank you so new here. Okay, thank you so much for coming, Nikki. I truly appreciate it. Appreciate you. So my name's Janine. I'm a budget coach. I talk about all things personal finances with God in the center. So if you look around my page, you can go to the link that's in my bio. I have a lot of free resources. I have some some templates that I am going to show. And then again, so I'm so glad that you are here. And we talk about, again, all things personal finances with God in the center. So let's just start off with, let me see what I wanted to really, hold on one second, y'all. I got like, let's see. All right. I want to start with I want to start and talk about how consistency with your budget is so important. If you are living paycheck to paycheck and you have been struggling with your budget, consistency, y'all, is so important. And I'm going to say this scripture verse really quick. Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap. So I'm going to say this short prayer really quick before we just get into budgeting. Lord, give us consistency, peace, and wisdom tonight. Everybody that's watching on the sound of my voice, every family that is represented, every mom, I pray that I just say the right things and bless, that somebody will be blessed and learn things about budgeting. In Jesus' name, we pray all of these things. Amen. So I just really always will start my lives with a short prayer. I think it's so important to keep God in the middle of your finances, because as I'm a believer, it's just so important to make sure that you keep God in your finances. So we're going to talk about the stress about living paycheck to paycheck. So if you ever feel like every time you get paid, your check is going before the end of the week, type in the chat me. Drop in me. Like, listen, this also is going to be a safe space for us to talk about our personal finances with no shame or no guilt. So if you ever okay, listen, thank you so much, Just Nikki. Oh, and Troy Johnson. Oh, okay, thank you. Are you new here? Type in listen, you guys are not alone. Let me tell you, listen, everybody has been there. Every time you get paid, I remember being in a season of like, every time I got paid, the numbers wouldn't add up. Like, numbers wouldn't add up. That's why I believe it's so important to invite God into your finances, because when the numbers don't add up, you give room for God to make a way. To make a way out of no way, basically. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm a living witness of God making a way when my numbers did not add up, when it's like I couldn't get another job, childcare and all of those things. Is like, invite God into your finances. But also I believe in having practical steps for us to do, to get better with your budget, to get better with your personal finance. Thank you so much for the populars. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So couple things that I want to talk about, just about like that you guys are not alone. Majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. When I say majority, I think the percentage is like anywhere between 50 to over 50%. And I want to also say, it doesn't really matter about like how much you make, because there are people that make over $100,000 still living paycheck to paycheck, and there may be people that make $50,000 and living paycheck to paycheck. So I want to encourage people to say we need to be good stewards of what God has given us, and learning to put, steps and good habits in place to manage our money. Because sometimes I think some people will think like, you know what, I need to make more money and then I won't live paycheck to paycheck. But if you don't create better money habits, then the more money you have, the more money you're going to spend. So if you're like me, type in me in the chat is if you started making more money and then you spent more money. Because I'm telling y'all, I remember a season in my life, I got a raise, and then I was just like, you know what? I can go out and spend now. Now I done got a raise. So type of me in the chat if that resonates with you in any way. Have you ever, God has elevated you and, elevated your finances, and all of a sudden you just see the kind of like lifestyle creep? Put in lifestyle creep if that's ever been you. Put in creep in the chat. And that's ever been you, lifestyle creep. Okay, listen, Nikki, you are not alone, girl. We're in this together. I was the same exact way. Paycheck to paycheck, living like every time I got paid before ever getting, on the 2-week pay schedule. Before the 2 weeks, I'm like, oh my God, where my money at? Where my money at? So I'm just gonna talk about some practical tips that have really, really, really helped me get out of the paycheck the paycheck cycle. Okay. So the first thing, and another thing, I just want to just inform everybody. Like, if you are consistently coming to my lives, I need you guys to bring a notebook or maybe have a little pad, because I want you to take some notes. Or maybe you can like do like the voice notes in your phone, or if you have some time, make sure you bring a pen and paper next time, because I want you to write it down, because these are steps that I want you to implement. I want you to implement these steps. So first things first, when you are, writing down your, when you're doing, your paycheck, make sure you write it down. Now, tell me in the chat if you are a paper girl or are you a digital? Because I got something for both. Let me know in the chat if you are a paper girl or if you are digital. Do you write your bills down on paper, or are you a paper girl, Nikki? Oh, okay, great. And make sure that you're liking the live. Paper. Okay, great. My paper girls. Listen, I'm a paper. I love paper. I've been like writing down my bills for a long time. So you guys will definitely love this sheet that I'm about to show you. So definitely paper. Any digital people in the room? Any digital? Like, I got something for everybody. You know what I mean? But paper, it's just something about paper, y'all. So first thing that I would say to everybody watching, write your bills down. Write it down. Write down your bills. Write down what's coming in, what's coming out, your paychecks. Okay. First thing, we got to write it down. And listen, I always tell people, I always tell my clients, that it's a habit that you have to give yourself grace for, right? Like, if you're not used to writing things down, or if you're not in a rhythm of doing it, you have to do it frequently. Like, budgets are not like one time, set it and forget it. That's it. I don't have to look at it. No. We need to constantly be looking at our budget, because you have to change the numbers. Some things may change, some things may go up and down. So you have to constantly look at it. So it's not a set it and forget it. So put in the chat if you look at your budget often. Put yes or no. Yes, you look at your budget often. No, you don't look at your budget often. Put it in the chat. Oh, hey, I'm Pastor Nate. Thank you so much for coming on the live. Truly appreciate it. Tonight is budget with Faith on Mondays, and we are talking about getting our budget together. With God in the center. So we are talking about, if you are a digital person, do you write your bills down, or do you write your bills down on paper, or you're a digital person? Hey, I'm tagging too. Okay, nice. So, okay. So put in the chat if you are digital or if you are paper. Okay, once a week. So once a week. Okay. So we are talking about how often you do your budget. So once a week. That's really good. Because some people get this idea and concept about the budgets. Like, you know what? I'm just going to, do it one time and then that's it. And they don't know their numbers. So paper girls, I have something for you guys now. I want to show you. Paper people, okay? Because I was like, you know what? I'm such a visual person, y'all, right? So it's just like, you know what? I want to show you guys exactly one of the things. So this is like, if you can see it, it's a paycheck tracker, right? It's a paycheck tracker on YouTube. If you guys can see it. Now, I have this. Now, what this is just, a paper that I printed out. And I have it in, the links will be in my bio, and it also will be in my descriptions. You can go in there and check it out. It comes in a little different colors. I like to decorate it, make it look all pretty. But anyway, this is just a way that every time you get paid, right? Every time you get paid, I'm going to read the categories that's on here. So the first one is your income. If you guys could see it, first part is your income. So I would tell everybody, as soon as you get paid, write down your income. How much you get paid? How much did you get paid? Okay. First things first, write down your income. Now, for all of the moms in the room, all of the moms that are watching. Now, income, I'm talking about income that you from your 9 to 5. Now, if you're getting child support or any other things like that, listen, I'm going to say, I'm not going to add that. Only, you know what? I will only tell moms to add it if it's consistent. Because as we know, okay, that sometimes cannot be consistent. And if you are putting that in your budget and writing your numbers and you're depending on that money, I'd rather that be, if it comes in, thank God it came in. If it didn't come in, then it didn't come in. So first things first, we are going to write down our income. That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing, tithes and giving. Tithes and giving. If you are a believer and you are watching, put believer in the chat. And even if you're not a believer, I do believe, and I always tell people, there should be 3 money habits that everyone should be doing with their money. 3 things that everyone should be doing with their money. So make sure you guys are writing down these. Y'all got your little pen and paper out? Put pen and paper if you guys are taking notes. Put pen and paper if you're taking notes. Believer, great. Good. Believer, great. So if you're taking notes, put pen and paper so I know that you guys are paying attention and you guys are watching me, because that's why I need you guys to be engaged. Good. So if you are a believer, then you know that 10% go to God. I mean, if you're a believer over here, and listen, you know what? I remember when I was in a place where I couldn't give 10%. And I want to just talk to all moms out there that maybe in a place that you are a believer, but you're like, you know what, the 10% is going to stretch me so much, or I can't, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, or I don't believe that God wants us to be in a place where we're not paying a bill to pay the tithes, right? And it's just my personal opinion. I hope I am not offending anybody, but I do believe, because there was a point that I had to get up to the 10%, right? Like I may not have started giving the tithes at 10%, but I had to work my way up to it. But I always tell people, whether you are a believer or not, 3 things that you should be doing with your money. First thing is giving, right? So if you're a believer, then you believe in the tithe. The second thing would be if some type of charity. These are the money habits that you should be creating. So generosity is very, very important. I feel like we live in a world where it's all about me. Hey, Jesse. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, girlfriend. Make sure you get the Daily Heart. Make sure that you're sharing it out. We are talking about budgeting. Our paychecks. Today is budget with faith paycheck. So we're talking about our paycheck today. So I was showing my paycheck tracker. Thank you so much for the pickup. I was showing my paycheck tracker, and the first thing I said is you need to write down your income. That's the first thing that you need to do. And again, these trackers are available in the link in my bio. It'll be in my description. So it's available there. So first thing, you make sure you put your income. Second thing, we're talking about the second category. Sorry, y'all. The second category, if you could see it, I don't know if you guys can see it too much. The second category is tithes and giving. And I say the 3 things that people, oh, girl, I've been watching you. Go ahead, girl. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much, Jessie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the second thing would be tithe and giving. Again, if you are a believer, then you know giving 10% is very important. And if you are not a believer, getting into a habit of giving, like just generosity. So it could be a charity that you have, a charity that you like, you know what I mean? If you're like, okay, I'm not really a super religious person, everybody still should be giving to something, having generosity. These are muscles that we need to be building. So 1, generosity, make sure that you are giving. 2, saving. Make sure that you are saving your money. And we'll talk about savings on Wednesday. I'm not really going to get too much into savings, but we'll talk about that on Wednesday. So again, if y'all writing notes, put notes in the chat so I know that you guys are paying attention. I know it's late and some, it's late at night. So I need to know, put notes in the chat if you are with me. So I know that you guys are paying attention. And also tap the screen. Tap the screen to let me know that you are watching, that you're paying attention. Notes. Good. Thank you so much, Nikki. Thank you so much. So, okay, great. So the second thing, like I said, that everybody should be doing is saving. The third thing is spending wisely. Now, these are just like basic money habits that we all should be doing, whether we're believers or not. We should be giving, we should be saving, and we should be spending wisely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So let's go back to the paycheck trackers, right? So the income, you put your income in here, right? The second one, tithe and giving. The next one is going to be your fixed expenses. What's your fixed expenses? Your fixed expenses is your rent, your car note, your insurance, your cell phone bill, your fixed expenses. Fixed expenses are all the expenses that do not change. If you are a homeowner, your water bill, your sewer bill, all of those things you want to put in this category. Because remember, what we're talking about is we want to get out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, right, y'all? Like that's what we want to do. So writing all of these things down in an organized way will help with that, right? So again, income, tithes and giving, fixed expenses. Next things. Thank you so much, Nikki. Thank you so much. Debt payments. So I have a place for debt payments. This is where we're going to write out all our credit card payments and how much we're paying for it. Debt. The next one is going to be variable expenses, y'all. Variable expenses. Now, what is variable expenses? Variable expenses are the expenses that kind of change, right? Like, if your paycheck is really tight and your money is really tight, the variable expenses is the expenses that you really kind of can control. So variable expenses can be groceries. Variable expenses can be gas in your car. Variable expenses can be like anything for your beauty, hair, nails, anything like that. That could be variable expenses. Miscellaneous. These are things that change, right? Because you can kind of, the biggest for the variable expenses, I feel like this top number one that I always put at the top is you kind of know your household and you need to make sure that that's out of the variable expenses, that one is getting, paid first, or that one is getting taken care of. Like you need food to survive, right? So we need to take care of our variable expenses. But nails and hair. Listen, y'all, I was the every 2-week girly getting my nails done every 2 weeks. I was paying like $100 or maybe $120 to get my nails done every 2 weeks. Y'all, I am a DIY girly. And if anybody know me personally, like if my girlfriends was on here, I was the girl that was like, I can't do nothing myself. Now I do my little press on, y'all. I do my little lashes myself, and I'm saving these coins. So put in the chat if you are a DIY girly. Are you guys doing your own nails? Are you doing your own lashes? You should look into it. Listen, I'm like, I could never do it. I could never do mine. But if you take a little time, do a little self-care, you can save some coins. So put in the chat if you're a DIY girly, or if you're like, no, Janine, I need to go to the nail salon. Like, are you not a DIY? It's okay. Listen, Nikki, I was not that girl either. I was not the DIY girl. Trust me, I wasn't. I really wasn't. I was like, I paid for everything. I was like that. When I tell you, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to pay for my nails. I'm going to pay for my lashes. I'm going to pay for all this. I was like that. But then I was like, you know what? My goals, my financial goals, really, I was like, I really want to get out of this debt, right? And I really looked at it and I said, okay, I'm spending $120 every 2 weeks to get my nails done. What could I do with that $120? Right? Now, I do believe in, treating yourself. And if you are in a season that you're paying off debt, know that this season is not always going to be. Now, I'm not saying don't ever get your nails done. Don't ever no, I'm not saying any of that. But if you're in a season and you are trying to focus on something, then just for the season, maybe learn to do your nails. You know what I mean? Maybe if, whatever you are focusing on in that season, let's say that you're in a season that you need to, you want to, you want an emergency fund, right? Or you want 1 month of your bills in the account, then focusing on that and really looking at other things that you can cut back on, right? I always tell people another thing too, eating out. Some people may say, you know what, I need to get my nails done. I need to get that, to fill, as mom, we take care of so many people. So you may want to fill away, then that's okay. But I would say, what about your eating out budget? Put in a chat if you eat out a lot. Eat out. If you are like me, listen, my kids used to be like, Mom, let's go to a Wawa. Let's go to Chipotle. Y'all, Chipotle is my favorite place. Like, Chipotle is my favorite place. Eating out, especially summertime, hurts my pockets. Girl, who you telling? I literally have to tell my kids, like, no, we not eating out. No, we not. I had started to do with my kids, like, oh, we only going to eat out on Fridays. I said, okay, we only going to eat out on Fridays. Then the Fridays turned to Tuesdays. The Tuesdays turned to like Thursdays. And then I was just eating out 2-3 times a week, y'all. And let me tell you, when I looked at my expenses, I tracked my expenses for 1 month and I looked at I was looking at my eating out budget. I spent $1,500 in fast food in a month. Yes, $1,500 in fast food in a month. Now, mind you, I got 3 kids, right? Because people be like, oh my God, you spent that. I got 3 kids, okay? And I used to be like, oh, I'm just going to send you money. Yeah, we'll DoorDash this and $1,500 in a month I spent on fast food 1 month. And I was thinking to myself, what could I have done with that $1,500? What could I could have put it in a high yield savings account. I could have let that money, I could have paid down my debt. I could have did so many things. So if you're like, you know what? Yes, it's so easy to lose track. It is. It really, I used to do the Friday thing with my daughter and then add it Saturday and it can get out of control. Listen, I know. Listen, Nikki, we are here. Like it's just so easy to do it, especially as moms. If you are a mom, put mom in a chat. It can get so busy. You don't work all day. If you got kids in school, you got to help them do their homework. It's just like, your boss may stress you out, all of the things, and then you got to come home and cook somebody meal. It's like, oh my gosh, we could just DoorDash. Listen, I know, I'm telling you, because I know I've done it. Is this a recording? Yes. Yeah, it is. It's being recorded. Yes. So it's just like, listen, I always tell moms, give yourself grace, mom. Give yourself grace. We are not perfect. Give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up about it, but just try to make better habits, right? Like, we need to start to be aware of the things that we're doing. Not that, like, I done ate out, all of these time. You messing with me. You messing with me. Transformer, legit, I'm not messing with you. But give yourself grace. Know that these money habits and these money things to get better with your money, it's not gonna happen overnight. The eat out, I really had to, I think it's TikTok because it's glitching. Okay. I don't know. Let me know if I'm glitching, you guys. I don't know if I am. They said it is glitching a little bit. I don't know. TikTok, you're good. Okay, good. Because I don't know, I know that it was glitching all day. So they were saying it was glitching all day. So, so what were we talking about? We were talking about fast food and everything like that. But again, keep going. Give yourself grace. Know that these habits are not going to just disappear in one day. If you are like, let's say that you eat out 2 or 3 times a week, let's try to like work it down to 1, you know what I mean? Or maybe let's work it down to 2. So all of these little steps will help to stop you from living the paycheck life, definitely, for sure. So what did I say? So variable expenses, y'all. So that's the category here. This last category is saving and sinking funds. And again, we will go into more in depth about like saving and sinking funds. But again, this paycheck tracker is for all my new people that are entering the room. This is one of the ways to keep yourself organized. Every time that you get paid, writing down all your bills, writing down the due dates, and organizing your money. So the first step, so if you guys are taking notes, the first step I said is write it down. And this is one of the tools that you can use to write it down. The second thing, if you got your notes out, put in notes in the chat so I know that you guys are paying attention. Second thing, I did a video on this and I said split your month, split your pay into 2. And I'm going to break this down as simple as possible. So most people get paid every 2 weeks, right? You get paid every 2 weeks. And I'm just going to give you guys a visual. I'm going to give you guys a visual like of my calendar. If you get paid every 2 weeks, put bi-weekly in the chat. If you get paid every 2 weeks, I'll be right back so I can recharge and give you me. Okay. Put bi-weekly in the chat if you get paid every 2 weeks, or put weekly in the chat if you get paid every week. Let me know how often you guys are getting paid. Is it weekly or bi-weekly? I'm weekly. So am I. Thank God for weekly pays. Oh my gosh. Thank God for weekly pays. Okay. So it's just like, oh my gosh. So this is just like a little calendar that I have, y'all, right? So the second step that, and this is another thing, just to write all your bills down for the month and write down the due dates. But the second thing that I'm going to tell you guys to do is if you get paid weekly, let's just say that you have 3 bills due on that week. You make sure that you are paying those bills until the next payday. So basically you're splitting up. So instead of all your bills coming out all at the same time, you're just going to do it by every time that you get paid. So you're only going to cover your bills up until the week that you get paid, if that makes sense. Let me know if it makes sense. Make sense if in the chat if you're following me. No, put follow if you're following me. Oh, hopefully TikTok don't think I'm trying to I know you can't say certain words on TikTok because they'd be like, oh, makes sense. Good. Okay. So splitting your bills, and again, if you are a bi-weekly person, then you're going to split the bills into every 2 weeks. So if you're getting paid, let's say the first of the month, you're going to cover all of the bills until you get paid for the second week. Now, here's the real flex. And this is what I'll be talking about. One of the topics I'll be talking about on Wednesday. We want to really get a month ahead. That's what we really want to do. You really, like, this is September. You want September's income to be paying for October. Like, you want to be a month ahead. Like the money for September, you want to pay for October. Yeah. So we really want to get a month ahead. Now, I ain't there yet, y'all. I'm working on it. But put in the chat if you are a month ahead, or if that's something that you want to get to. Put in the chat if a month ahead is a place that you want to get to in reference to your finances, because that's the real flex. To get a month ahead in your finances, that's the real flex, y'all. So makes sense. Okay. Put it in the chat if you want to get a month ahead. So, okay. So I'm just going to recap what we said tonight. 1, write it down. I showed you my paycheck tracker. Oh, and let me see the other part of it, y'all. Now I'm going to show you the last part of it. The last part of this paycheck tracker is the summary part, which is really, really important. If you can see it, the summary part. So basically what you do is you're going to add up all your numbers and put it here in the summary. So this will show you like, oh, I'm in a negative, or, oh, I need to adjust my variable expenses a little bit to make sure that this bottom number is 0. And it's called a zero-based budgeting. It's, you're assigning every dollar a job. A month ahead is awesome. Exactly. Is that like that's like the goal. That's the goal, to get a month ahead. But again, that takes time for a lot of people, because like, being a month ahead for like my mortgage is like my highest bill. So being a month ahead with that, it's like, woo, that's something I want to work towards. But like all the other bills that are smaller, that's kind of easy to be a month ahead. But like the biggest thing for most people are rent and mortgages. And these are the things that you probably want to work towards. So the last step on keep 3 keys to stop living paycheck to paycheck and just having your paycheck disappear is stay consistent. If you've seen the little flyer that I did, we guys got, thank you so much, Vanity, for joining the live. Thank you, all of the new people that are entering the live. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you are tapping the live. Make sure that you are sharing it out. We talk about all things of personal finances with God in the center. So staying consistent, y'all. Listen, this is like the thank you so much. This is like probably the most important part of everything I said tonight. You gotta stay consistent with anything. I feel like that's a lot of things in life. For you to grow, for you to get better with your personal finances, for you to get better in just all things in life, you gotta stay consistent. It's almost like, you had that new diet. You really want to lose those pounds. You can't go to the gym one time. It's just like, you can't be like, oh, I'm going to the gym one time and that's it. No, we gotta stay consistent. We gotta give ourselves grace. If you fall off the wagon, then get back on it. Stay around like-minded people and women that is going to hold you accountable. I always tell people, get a financial coach if you don't have one. I'm your go-to girl. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching, you can click this link right here, and I have a subscription plus. It talks about my budget, my one-on-one coaching, if you're ever interested. If you are interested in becoming a new subby, you also can click the link. So I am going to be doing, thank you so much who entered the room. I'm going to be doing subscriber only like videos and stuff like that, because next month I'm going to be starting a book club, and we're going to be reading financial books, and we're going to talk about it, because I think it's one thing to get the information out, but we all need to be educating ourselves on personal finance. It can't just be of course listen to different tips and listen to the different things, but also um learning about it as well, educating ourselves. I educate my sons all the time, like really educating them about their credit and different things like that. So I am going to be starting a book club. So if you're interested in becoming a subscriber, have you read The Psychology of Money? No, I haven't read that yet. That is on my list. I've heard that is a very good book. That is a very good book. I know. I heard about it. It's a very good one. It's a very good one. So things like that, I feel like it's so important to be, financial literacy, that we all need to be learning, and just all of us as a community. That's what I'm trying to create over here, graceful community. So if you're interested in being in my community, you can hit the subscription or become a subscriber. It's greatly appreciated. But yes, I truly think that we all need to be educating ourselves around personal finances, looking at the facts and really learning it, and then really talking about it as well. Thank you so much, C West, for joining the live. Thank you so much for being here. So yes, you guys, thank you so much. So let's see. So which one do you need the most right now? Like all of the 3 things that I talked about, we talked about writing it down, splitting your bills, or staying consistent. If you had to pick one, which one would you need the most right now? Like which one would you be struggling with the most? Is it like writing it down? Girl, I don't write it down. Or 2, I don't split my bills. Or 3, I'm not consistent. Staying consistent. Yes, yes, yes. I think that's just most of us, honestly. That's just most of us. I think that life can just be life and you can just get busy, and it's like staying consistent. So I do believe in just creating like habits. Another good book is what's it called? Atomic Habits. That is a great book. And it really helps you to build, if you want to create like new habits, that's a great one. So I feel like the book club is really going to be good. But yes, consistency we all need. We all need. And it's just, and I feel like the more you do it, the better you'll be. And then also, like, looking at what works best for you. I want to read that. Yes. It's very, very good. It's simple. It's like one of the top bestsellers. It is an absolute great read. It is like, and it's really about building any type of habits, like, not just like, financial, but just, you just want to, be better at creating whatever different habits you want, in your life. That book is really good. And it's like a simple read too. It's like really informative and everything like that. So it's really good. But consistency is so important. But I would say give yourself grace, but also create like money dates. I feel like for me, like, I get paid on a Thursday. So like Thursday, I know at some point in the day, I need to sit down and look at my numbers. Maybe if it's not exactly on your payday, maybe if you're, moms, maybe it's after you put your kids to bed, maybe it's maybe it's early in the morning. Like, okay, I'm gonna look at it. But whatever really works for you, trying to find that sweet spot that say, you know what, on Thursday morning, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna do my budget real quick. Or on Friday evenings, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna do my budget real quick. And then also, doing things that works for you. So if you're more of a paper girl, make sure that you have your little paper out and you write down your numbers. Or if you're digital, because some people, I know my mom, she like, I don't know why you write stuff down on paper. She's like, I can't stand it. I'm like, yeah. So if you're digital, you can pull out your iPad and write down your numbers. And I also would say, a bonus tip, track your expenses. Listen, tracking your expenses, you will realize how you will learn who you are with money. Like, tracking your expenses will expose you. Like, dag, I didn't know I spent this. I didn't know. I always tell people when I get my clients, when they do the coaching with me, the first homework for them is tracking is scary. I know. That's why that's the first thing I tell my clients to do is track your expenses. I usually tell them 2 weeks, give me 2 weeks for you to track your expenses, because tracking your expenses will expose you and your money. You be thinking like, oh, I only spend $20 on this, or I only spend $50 on this. You track your expenses and you realize, whoo, I might have spent 100 on that, or I might have spent 200. So I always tell my clients that are interested in, coaching, one of the first things I say is track your expenses. It will expose you in reference to your money, and you'll be like, oh my gosh. So that is definitely a habit that you have to get used to, tracking your expenses. But again, this space, when we talk about our personal finances, it's going to be with God in the center, and we want to give ourselves grace. I know as moms, we give everybody else grace. We give our kids grace, we give our boss, our friends, maybe your partner or whatever, everybody else grace. Moms, you got to give yourself grace. This is not going to be something that, you just change, tomorrow. Like, give yourself grace, but also put some practical steps in place. Like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start to do this. This is what I'm going to start to do. I'm going to start to be consistent. I can try to do, maybe Thursdays is better for you to do your budget. Maybe Fridays are better for you to do your budget, but start to build some type of consistency. Give yourself grace if you fall off, but get back on a wagon. Get back on a wagon for sure. Let me know if you guys are still with me. Put some hearts in the chat. Did I reach any of my, look, I don't know if I reached. Oh, I have my heart gold, my roses. If you guys could, so we can get my roses. Nikki, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Yes. So also, if you still have I want to do this really quick action before we kind of close out this live, is if you have your pen and paper, I want you to write down this action, one money habit you can commit to this week. so you can stop with the paycheck to paycheck cycle. So what's one money habit that we can do this week? What can we do? Can we write down our bills? Can we track our spending? Or can we say no to one unnecessary expense? Tell me what you can commit to tonight. One thing that you could do this week. Put it in the chat. I feel like me, I'm going to commit to tracking my spending. That's what I'm going to commit to. Tracking. Great. I was about to say, that's exactly what I'm saying. Tracking my spending. That's what I'm going to commit to today. There are so many apps that also I use to help track my expenses. So if you ever want more information about that, you can always message me. But I do track my expenses through an app as well, just to make it easier. But then I do write it down. Thank you so much, Dr. Lisa, for coming. So, okay, so that for the new people that enter the room, we are talking about what money habit that we can create this week. The recap of what we talked about tonight. I'm starting over with my budget this month, summer. I'm starting over with my budget summer, and I was very lax. Okay, I'm good. And then honestly, this is a perfect time to start over. Like this is the perfect time. Like September, the whole excuse me, y'all, fall and all that. This is the perfect time to just kind of get better money habits already in place. And especially we want to do this before the holidays, right, y'all? Because, before the holidays come in, it's just like the spending can go out of control. All of the, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of that. So before all of those things kind of wreck most people's budget, and a lot of people are going into credit card debt during the holidays, we want to kind of reel it in and get it together. We hi, Dr. Lisa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for entering the room. Thank you, Warren, so much for entering the room. We talk about all things personal finances with God in the center. So if you're new to my room, make sure that you grab your daily heart. Quick suggestion, you can toggle on the mirror features so your words appear right in the background. You can toggle on the mirror feature so your words appear in the background. My words appear. Toggle on the mirror feature. So my words can mirror. What words? Like these words? Oh. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. So I can mirror it. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll do that. So all again, all the new people that are here, we were talking about what money habit that we can commit to this week. What can you commit? It's reverse for us. Oh, okay. I understand it's reverse for y'all. Oh, okay. Okay, so the mirror feature, and then it'll be reverse. Okay. I want to do that next time. You can click in more in the 3 dots. Mirror your video. Oh, okay. Okay. Click more with the 3 dots. Okay. Yes. Okay. Again, for the new people that are in the room, again, so what money habit can you commit to this week? So 3 things that I put that we talked about tonight was writing down your bills, tracking your spending, and wait a minute. Let me go back, y'all. No, three steps that I talked about was writing down your bills, splitting your bills into your pay cycle, and 3, staying consistent. So that's if you are new into the room. I see people on YouTube that are just entering. My name's Janine. I am a budget coach. I talk all things personal finances. And we are talking about one money habit that we can commit to this week. What is one money habit you can commit? So the things that you can commit to is writing down your bills, tracking your spending, or saying no to one unnecessary expense. So put in the chat one habit that you want to commit to. I said for me personally, I am going to commit to tracking my spending, because for the new people that are in the room, I said when you track your spending, it exposes who you are in reference to money. Like, you will learn your money habits when you track it. Okay, track your spending for 2 weeks, and you'll be like, whoa, I didn't know I spent that much on that, or I don't know if I spent that much on that. So what money habit can you commit to this week? Because I always want to leave a practical step for us to be doing. I don't want it just to be, a live where, you just see me coaching, but what practical steps can you guys implement in your life so you can get better with your personal finances? So put in the chat for all of the new people that are here, what is one money habit that you are going to create this week, y'all? What do you put? We said tracking our expenses. Is anybody going to do writing down their bills? Some people may not be used to writing down their bills. So maybe writing down your bills may be one thing that you say, you know what? I don't write down my bills like I should, so I'm actually going to write down my bills this week. Maybe you could say no to one unnecessary expense. Can you say no to those Amazon packages that you got in your cart? Can you say no to DoorDash this week, y'all? I'm tracking my grocery expenses. Great, Dr. Lisa, great. Tracking your grocery expenses. Groceries is just like, woo, I have to track that. Like, when I tell you guys I have to be on a budget when it comes to my groceries, I have to. Because if you do not track your groceries, TikTok shop. Oh, okay. TikTok. Oh, shop. If you don't, I just got what you said, Nikki. The one expense that you can cut out is TikTok shop. Listen, the TikTok shop got me in a chokehold. Okay. Do you know how many things I got in my cart that I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Listen, and Amazon is another one. Yes, no spending on a TikTok shop. Exactly. Listen, y'all. Listen, we got goals over here. And I feel like, a lot of people think that budgeting is so restrictive. I just feel like, yes, you can budget for those things. Yes, you can spend, but budget for it, right? Or it's like, it really depends on your season. What are you in? What season are you in? Are you in a season where you're really trying to get out of credit card debt? Are you in a season that you don't have no savings? They say most Americans, over 50% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency. Y'all, we should be able to cover at least $1,000 emergency. Put in the chat if you have an emergency fund. And listen, it's no shame, no guilt over here, because I was in a place where I couldn't save a lick. Okay. I could not save a lick. And again, we are all getting the static. That statistics always scares me. I know, because it's true. It's true. It's like, they do so much data and everything. It's just like, so many people live paycheck to paycheck and they can't cover $1,000 emergency. I was there. That was your girl for years and years. I could not save anything. I could not save it, especially being a single mom. It's all the single moms out there that are watching, that paying this, listen, I understand you, but I am you 10 years later. Okay. And one of the things that I had to do was get my budget together. I had to learn my numbers. How much money am I bringing in? How much is my bills? What's my margin? A lot of people don't even know what's your margin, right? Your margin is the money that you have left over after you pay everything. Most people don't have margin. Most people don't even know what margin is. But these are the things that we have to educate ourselves on. These are the things that we all have to get better with. And it's okay. They say most people don't have an emergency fund, and it's okay if you don't. But what steps are we going to put in place to get one, right? So those things like the TikTok shop or those, Amazon carts, we're going to have to put them on pause for a second, y'all. You know what I mean? We're going to have to put them on pause for a second until we get our emergency fund, until we have one. So I always, want to tell people, I always tell my clients that, the budget doesn't have to be restrictive, but if you are in a place that you really want to get your personal finance together, there are certain things that you should have in place, like an emergency fund, different things like that, will allow you in the long run to be better with your money financially. So if you guys were blessed by this live, put blessed in the chat. On my replay, the people on the replay, put replay in the chat. If you have learned something, put in the chat a notebook, or put learned in the chat, because I definitely want to make sure that I'm coming on here and just encourage. Blessed. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. I always want to come on my live to try to educate, but also talk from personal experience, and also talk from a place of like no shame, no guilt. I think, again, it's so much guilt and shame over personal finances. People can get so much anxiety. They don't want to talk about their numbers. They don't want to look at it. And we just need to get into a habit where we're getting used to looking at our numbers. We're getting used to, looking at our budget, writing things down, educating ourselves. So again, if you are just on here, I do one-on-one coaching. If you're ever interested, the link will be right here. I also have freebies in my bio. You can go check my page out. I have free resources. I have a financial 7-day guide to get your finances together with God in the center. There are prompts on that guide. There are prayers on there, and there are actionable steps. Because I always tell my clients, there's one thing to be praying about your finances, and I think that everybody should. But they say faith without works is dead. Right? So we need to not only be praying about our finances, but we need to be putting in practical steps to help us get our money together. Okay. So I hope that I bless someone. I want to also repeat my live schedule, because I have so many people asking me, when do you go live? When when do you do budgeting? So again, for the new people that are in the room, for the people, thanks so much, you welcome. For the people that are just entering, I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Mondays live will be about a budget. I think next week I will actually go over a mock budget of just like a mock mom or a mock amount, and I would say this is how I will budget this money. So Mondays will be about budgeting. Wednesdays is all about saving, y'all. We gotta save our money. I briefly talked about emergency funds, but on Wednesday I will talk more about emergency funds, sinking funds, trying to build up your savings. Maybe you're a mom that your kids are going to college soon. I'll talk about the 529 plan. I don't know if some people know what that is. It's a college fund for your kids. So Wednesday will be all things savings, everything savings. And Fridays will be debt-free Fridays, y'all. We are getting out of consumer debt, student loan debt, everything on Friday. Look, TikTok, they trying to boot me out, y'all. They trying to boot me out. But Fridays are debt-free Fridays. We're going to talk all things debt. The snowball method, the avalanche method, all of the things, getting out of debt. If you want to learn the tricks and trades on how to get out of debt, credit card debt, student loan debt, all of the things debt, then Fridays, make sure you come into my live. Okay. So I am going to say a closing prayer for everybody that is watching on the sound of my voice, everybody is watching on the replay. Lord, bless every woman, every man, everybody that is watching on the replay. Cover them, cover their finances, oh God. Multiply their income. Give us discipline and peace over our finances, oh God. Allow us to be good stewards over the money that you have blessed us with, oh God. And we truly ask that you just cover each and every household that is represented in the sound of my voice. And I pray all of these things in Jesus' name, amen. For everybody that is on the replay or watching live, thank you so much for being here. If this has truly blessed you, make sure that you are tapping the screen. Make sure that you're liking the live. Make sure you share it. Also, invite another mom to come back on Wednesday. Have a great night. You too. Invite somebody to come back on Wednesday to get some gems on personal finances. I truly appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you so much for engaging, tapping the screen, liking the screen. I truly appreciate it. Everybody on YouTube that's watching on the replay that came up, thank you so much for being here. I truly, truly appreciate it. If you ever have any budgeting questions, again, the links will be all in my bio. And I truly, truly appreciate everyone for being here. And I want you to remember one thing: budget with faith and prosper with grace. I love you guys. And I will see you on Wednesday night for our savings. 8 p.m. 8:30 p.m. Did I say 8, y'all? 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays. So I will check you guys out on Wednesdays. Have a great night.